Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel Trading Secrets. This channel is for entertainment purposes only. For those of you who do not know, my name is Ali. I have over 20 years experience teaching accounting, economics, business and law. Through this channel I'll be providing some stock analysis and a quick update on the $1 Million Challenge. So if anybody's not aware of this is an investment of $1,000 to a return of $1 million over a period of 3 years using a strategy called compound return investing. So the objective is try to get 201 trades, each with an average return of 3.5%. It's not 201 consecutive trades. We do take into account losses. So for further details about how to join us for less than $9 a month, information is available in the description below. In today's video, we're going to be looking at MMTLP and a new case against Schwab amongst many others, with sell orders for $362 per share and a $500,000 claim minimum. And we're also going to be looking at ticker symbol WKEY, which has had huge news in the Discord. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So huge news first of all with regard to Broadcom, a stock that we were also following in the Discord, ticker symbol AVGO. This surged 24% to top a $1 trillion market cap company in terms of the Dow Jones and the S&P 500. It is capping current weekly losses, and the Dow Jones right now is looking at a 7th straight day loss, and this is the longest losing streak since 2020 on the back of inflation news and jobless claims news. So for next, we'll move on to a shout out to Elon Musk, who's used Grok to draw a picture of Gary Gensler. He thinks is very flattering. And again, finally, confirmation that Broadcom is now a $1 trillion company in market value for the first time ever. Ticker symbol AVGO. I'm going to start by having a look at ticker symbol WKEY, also known as Wisekey, and this is a stock that was alerted in our live trading chat channel where there was a trading halt, and we looked at this and there was also news of a launch with SpaceX, and I stated here that this was halted due to volatility in terms of the Nasdaq. And what we can see here in terms of news shared also in the Discord through our quant alert channel, what's going on with Wisekey shares on Friday, and the shares were trading higher on Friday following the company's confirmation that its subsidiary WiseSat Space's satellite launch with SpaceX. Here's what you need to know. So digging deeper into this, we looked at that. Basically, the company have confirmed launch of a satellite with the subsidiary with SpaceX, and this is going to take place at the Vandenberg Space Force Base in California, January 2025. So great news here for WKEY. And we'll look at we see how that has played out in the markets. We can see today it was up close to 140% at $7.84. So again, congratulations to everybody in WKEY. Also great to take profits, and this is potentially another stock that we will be watching on Monday that could be running. Let's now have a look at MMTLP and a new complaint for violations of federal securities laws. So this is being brought in the United States District Court for the District of Western Texas by Daniel Spurs versus the defendants SEC, Gary Gensler, FINRA, we have the DTCC, we also have Charles Schwab, which is the broker, we have AST, currently known as Equinity Trust Company, and she's also added on Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, Gregory McCabe, John Berder, GTS and Ari Rubenstein. So very, very similar to the case that we have been looking at with regard to Scott. We have a look at the party involved. Daniel Spears, referred to as the plaintiff, is a shareholder of Nextbridge Hydrocarbons. She currently has 100 shares at her brokerage, Charles Schwab, as well as 7,200 shares at AST. So in other words, it states here she has 7,300 shares in total. So let's have a look at details of this complaint, and I'm going to move on to look at section 77, and it states here the data showed that transaction prices reaching and exceeding 100 times the closing price of $2.90 per share, i.e. that coming to $290 per share, and an extraordinary deviation indicative of a severe short squeeze, i.e. something that never actually happened in this particular case. And she goes on to say, December the 8th, 2022, there were limit orders ranging from less than $100 to as much as $200,000 per share. These were submitted, and many of these were also shared from the channel, and the person that we have there sharing some of these is Timeless Tim. Section 80, there was a U3 halt, and she's stating here, this left investors unable to access their investments with no clear resolution, which is what everybody is still currently waiting for. So I'm going to share some of the counts. So first of all, we have a look at count 8, and this is a failure to supervise against FINRA and the SEC. Count 9 is she's looking at here emotional distress, negligence or intentional infliction against all of the defendants. And she's stating here the defendants acted with intentional or reckless disregard for the emotional and financial toll of the U3 halt and systematic irregularities directly causing harm. And I would probably add in their breaches of securities legislation. And count 10, breach of contract and anticipatory breach against a Schwab, she's adding in there. So if we go on and have a look at something which I think is a mistake, and under section 17, if you remember, it started off as she, and I think she's now stated the plaintiff, which is Daniel Spears, prays for judgment in his favour and relief as follows. So that is a mistake, because I'm sure she identified herself as a she. So it could be a case of this has not been proofread properly, and obviously much of this has come from the previous cases. But nevertheless, we'll move on to section D. Declaration that FINRA's U3 halt on the MMTLP shares imposed on December the 9th and lifted December the 13th was improper, prejudicial, constituted a violation of regulatory responsibilities owed to the investing public and causing material harm to approximately 65,000 shareholders, including the plaintiff in this case. And if we have a look at the prayer, she stated here she's looking for an award of compensated damage to the plaintiff in an amount to be determined at the trial, and to include the loss of value of the plaintiff's MMTLP shares resulting from the defendant's misconduct. Then she's also talking about naked short selling, the improper U3 halt, and she's looking at financial losses exceeding $75,000 and an award of compensatory damages not less than $500,000, and as well as that, triple damages with using the Sherman Trust, which was also used by Scott. And now if we have a look at the prayer amount, here she goes on to say TDA Schwab trade confirmation sell orders were ranging from $362 per share to $420 per share for 7,300 shares which she had, and she wants this as a reward for the improper halting of trades intended for the 2 days that we missed out, December the 9th and December the 12th. And obviously, and also an award of pre and post judgment interest on all the compensatory damages. So more or less that's what we're looking at. So let's see how this goes, but pretty much it's down to the judge, and eventually one of these has to come through, so we will see what happens. However, I think again, just to reiterate that the thing I think that many shareholders will disagree with is bringing in NextBridge Hydrocarbons and Gregory McCabe, and Gregory McCabe has stated that he's out there fighting behind the scenes. We do need to see a little bit more communication. I think that has been lacking, and probably, but Gregory will counter that by saying there are reasons for this. But again, I think that as far as I'm concerned, I think the actions against the market makers, FINRA, the brokers, the SEC, I'm certainly in favour of that, and we definitely need an award. And finally, thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.